Hi, this is Jared with simplercrypto.com. So happy Labor Day. So for those of you in the crypto market, it was a little bloody this morning. So you can see here on the right, it's been sort of a sea of red. But to me, this isn't really that alarming. To me, this is more, at least in my opinion, an opportunity. So if we just take a look here, let's start kind of with Bitcoin. So this is a daily chart. And as you can see, we're really just kind of, in my opinion, this is just a pullback. So if we just kind of take a look at a few things with Fibonacci here. So if you go to the low of this, the rally in the most recent low before this rally, we can run from this low to this high. And, it looks like with Bitcoin at least, there is still potential for, a little bit more room to the downside. Now, if we kind of zoom in a bit, and then from this more recent low, run this one more time, you'll see we're kind of coming right into the 618 here, so let's kind of clean this up a bit, and we'll kill these levels. And then the one other thing I like to run is just the extension tool, so if you run that from this high to this low to this high, you'll see it aligns pretty much right on top of that 618. So one more thing we'll do here, just sort of as an additional kind of confirmation, you could call it. And I know if Roggy were to watch this, she may give me a hard time, but we'll draw a little trend line here. And you can see it pretty much is still sort of intact. Like I said, I could see this being where we find support. And, on to exceed 5,000. And I actually think there's some other exchanges, I can't remember if I mentioned this, but the recent high was just shy of 5,000. I think other exchanges did print above 5,000, but anyway, I'm looking at this more of you could call it a Labor Day sale on cryptocurrencies. Let's take a look at Ethereum really quick. And so really this is all on the heels of the news from China coming out and basically outlawing ICOs earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. But this is something I think is that's sort of been in the news for a while now, and for a lot of people, I don't think this is, I don't think this is much of a shock. So I don't know that this is going to have long-standing effects or more than just sort of this knee-jerk type effect that it's had this morning. So real quick, it's kind of funny to me is these events always seem to line up quite nicely with technical analysis. And you'd have to imagine that's by design. I can't imagine that this happens as often as it does in both cryptos and other markets, that it's coincidence, but who knows. So real quick, let's just do sort of the same thing here. So here's the recent high we saw back on June 12th, $412 and some change. And then here was the low back on July 16th. So if you run this low to this most recent high on the 1st of September, let me go and add a few levels back. You can kind of see where we stand currently. And you can see we kind of went through that 382 and are right at sort of the 50% mark, or just shy of. And to me, I could kind of say once again that this is just my opinion, but I see this more as a buying opportunity. I actually bought some Ethereum at 302.50 this morning. I had actually told Taylor on Saturday that I was putting a buy order or a limit order out there around that level, and yeah, that got filled this morning. So who's to say that this thing doesn't continue to fall? But in my opinion, there was talk of this happening already, so I think a lot of people sort of expected it. And like I said, this did sort of align nicely. We did kind of basically bump up right against the previous highs, and with sort of this huge run up that we've seen since the middle of July, it really hasn't taken a big breather since then. So to me, this is sort of a buying opportunity. We've seen this big knee-jerk reaction to the news from China, but it's not a security issue. It's not a breach of technology or something like that. So obviously this is going to impact the ICOs, but to me it was sort of getting out of hand anyway, and I expected something to happen really sooner than it had. So anyway, that's just my take. But to me, this is sort of a Labor Day sale on cryptocurrencies. So in my opinion, it wouldn't be a bad time to maybe pick some up. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Take care.